Burrow airs it out. Chase. Hello. Touchdown.
And I got a voice inside that needs to be fed. Causing chaos everywhere I
land. Are two of the best historically, just not thus far. Against these receivers.
Making the Junkins again, and there is Smith rolling free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson. Jordan, how the hell you doing tonight, buddy?
I can't complain. Personally, life's okay, but we got a lot to dive into. Stop me if I sound like a broken record when I make that introduction for the last 2 weeks. But,
yeah, it's been tough, man.
Things will get better, brother. How are things in your neck of the woods?
We're doing all right, man. Just when your teams are all just bad and things are not going your way, it just makes things around you not as good. So it's just taking sports too serious. Part of our gig, man. We've done it for our entire lives, and it's been rough. It's been rough these last couple weeks.
I had to take a day away. I was totally shut down. I was zero active on X, zero active in my personal life. Just kind of thinking. But I'm back. I got back on the horse today. We got some stories out there. We got some coverage going.
Yep.
Sorry for the Bengals fans. I was slow the other day, but when the Cavs smack you and the Reds smack you, the front office of the Bengals smack you, you just feel like, hey, I need to take a break. But I'm back. I'm energized. I'm locked. I'm loaded. And we got a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about tonight. Jordan, we're talking Cavs getting eliminated. We're going to dive into that. We're going to talk the Reds, their series against the White Sox, and then we're going to talk battle for Ohio between them and the Guardians. We've got
all over the place this week.
We've got two battles for Ohio. We've got the FC Cincinnati versus the Crew. We're going to talk a little Bengals and Browns here, and then a little news and notes at the end. So, Jordan, loaded show tonight. A lot going on, man. It was just another crazy week in the Ohio sports world. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk Cavs and Pacers, man. Jordan, I hate to be the guy to tell you, but you were wrong. And unfortunately, I was wrong also. I thought we'd beat these guys in 5. I thought we could potentially sweep these guys. And the product on the court did not match the product that we had all season, Jordan. What do you think the biggest issue was for the Cavs in this Pacers series?
Beyond the injury aspect, because that did play a role. Players were slower. Players were kind of forced out of there in a moment, as they should be, Doug. Playing sports, you're a warrior night in and night out. That hasn't changed since the beginning of time, and it's not going to change anytime soon. But logistically, for me, it's bad defensive rotations during the pick and roll, leaving guys wide open on the wing, and second chance points, which some of the games we dominated in, but early those first 2 games, Doug, that wasn't the story. That they outplayed us on the boards, they outplayed us in second chance points, and just the 3 ball suffered, and that wasn't really something in the regular season that we saw. And bench players didn't step up. We did see some Miami Max come back at times, but the real story is kind of the rest of the bench, Doug. Outside of Strus trying to step up, and he just looked gassed in that last game. I'm not going to make an excuse for him. He should have done better, but when it's all said and done, the 2 or 3 usual suspects, Donovan Mitchell, I'll say, went down with the ship. I'm going to give him his red carpet right now, regardless of how the fans feel about it. Just kind of I did rewatch the game today. I had a little downtime. And it just with his injuries, and I'll just cut myself there because that wasn't the question you asked. But it just defensively, rebounding, and bench play were just kind of atrocious here. And I think you put that together and you're going to lose to a team like Indiana 9 times out of 10, Doug, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I Mitchell went down swinging. I would say he did not play very well in the game 5.
Correct.
I mean, he was getting up a lot of shots, and they were not falling. He took 13 threes. Nobody else on the team took more than 6. He did get to the free throw line a ton. It just felt like, Garland never got back to anywhere close to where he could play. Jared Allen was soft as can be the last 2 games. Mobley had a great game 5, but they went away from him like they always do for whatever reason. When Mobley has it going, the Cavs usually do not use him the full game. Atkinson's first real coaching responsibilities, and yeah, Jordan, that you talked about that yourself. You were not impressed with Kenny Atkinson on this series, and I was not either. I thought he got outcoached by Rick Carlisle. I thought he got taken to school a little bit by Rick Carlisle, and yeah, man, a really fun regular season, Jordan. A really fun regular season. But that's all it is. That's all it's going to be is a fun regular season because of the massive letdown. Jordan, what did we say before the playoffs started? You told me it was finals or bust.
Correct.
I told you Eastern Conference Finals or bust. We didn't make it to either of those. This season is a 100% failure. It is a all the people who called the Cavs frauds, they're not worried about us in the playoffs. We're not a legitimate contender. They were all proven correct, Jordan. You can say there were injuries because we know there were. But if you're the number one seed, if you're this, you're that, you're this, and you show up and you get, Jordan, don't forget this team got blown out in game 4. Embarrassed.
I'll never forget it.
There was a lot. It's just a failure of a season. 100% it is a massive failure for this franchise.
Go
ahead.
Let me ask you because you're more of an X's and O guys when it comes to basketball. What happened to the bench? Was it the rotation, or was it just
rotation? What do you mean? Because
did we rely on the bench too hard, or did we not lean on? In the elimination game, I thought we didn't lean on them enough. The starters look gassed. The starters look tired to me, and you need to make a hockey change. You need to make.
I guess my question is, Jordan, you just told me the bench let us down in this series. Why would I trust the bench in game 5 then?
Well, surprisingly, they did have a spark. It was too little too late.
Sure, Ty Jerome did come in. He scored 8 points. Ty Jerome
did come out.
But Ty Jerome was also the worst player on the team for 5 games. So why would I just trust him all of a sudden?
I just feel like that's a gut. I feel like that's a gut feeling when you see so many guys gassed, and I feel like that in football terms because I'm a football coach. In football terms, you see your defensive ends, just absolutely wrecked, and they're not making pressure, and they're not going to with tired legs, and you just sometimes you got to put in that guy that's. Yes, it's a D grade in quality, but it's an upgrade in energy and effort. And that's just where I felt like, maybe in the third quarter during that just absolute slapping that the Cavaliers took, halfway through that slapping, Doug, I would have made an adjustment because at that point, you're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. And I feel like that's where Kenny Atkinson, if any lessons were learned, that's got to be a lesson that, it's got to be remembered that, yes, that I'm putting in talent that hasn't really got it done. It's talent that's not necessarily there, but the talent that's on the floor right now is playing below that. And I just feel like when you get on that teeter-totter as a coach, man, you got to say, I went to my bag and I pulled everything. Because now, people like me, analysts everywhere get to sit down and say, well, you didn't make the right call. And I know I'm armchairing it at this point, but it just felt like I would have went anywhere for a spark, Doug. I would have even went.
If you would have told me that you would have went Craig Porter maybe in a stretch there, I would have understood. If you told me if you told me that you wanted to go you know,
I'm not saying Tristan Thompson. I'm just saying, one of
if
these
you wanted to
guys,
go
one
Craig
of these younger
Porter
guys.
Jr. to try to get you a spark off the bench, I would understand that. I would
Green,
support that.
Porter.
I would understand getting those guys a chance. But it just the Ty Jerome thing is, it was really difficult, man. He was really, really bad. And I'm happy for him that he came in and got those quick 8 points, but it's just too little too late. The rebound that we talked about, the Jared Allen, where he did not box out Miles Turner at all on a game, on the most important play of the game. It just, I don't know. Jordan, let me ask you this. Now, we know that there are a lot of limitations with this franchise and what they can do in the offseason in terms of trades and things like that because of the second apron, because of the cap, all that stuff. The main thing that the Cavs can do is trade one of these guys. It's got to be a straight up type trade. Do you think that the Mobley, Allen, Garland, Mitchell group comes back next season?
I think Allen is the outside looking in. If there was ever a ceiling for him, this was statistically his best year as a Cav, field goal percentage wise, free throw wise, and stuff of that nature. We don't know what Evan Mobley's ceiling is going to be just yet. He did just win Defensive Player of the Year. Now, individual awards don't mean shit when you can't finish the product on the court. I understand that argument, and I understand I'm going to get that backlash. But he is the younger out of the two big men, and this has been his home team. Allen's been around a little bit, especially with the Nets. Prior to coming over here, he got to work with Kenny Atkinson. I think we've seen a ceiling, and especially two semi-deep playoff runs. So I think Allen is the outside guy looking in, and he still has trade value. He's still a guy that can give you a double-double. He's still a guy that can set a pick and roll, do the backdoor screen, things of that nature. So
he's still a good center.
No, I'm not saying
that. It's just
his ceiling.
There's a limitation. There's a limitation.
His ceiling with this team, and you still look at, Boston's not healthy, and they're still dragging out games right now. You still look at the competition that's above us, Doug. And I'm just saying, the competition that's above us, you got to upgrade. You got to make a change if you want to compete. Allen and some bench players in a package deal with some picks would definitely be my recipe.
I don't think you can't. I don't think you can stack contracts based on what I've read. It would have to be Allen and a pick for somebody. And I don't know what that nets you back, but I think the Cavs need to look into more of maybe having Evan Mobley just play center and them run a one center and maybe go, Hunter in the starting lineup with the other guys. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I know that the trading and things like that people are asking for is a little delusional. It's not going to happen. You can't trade Garland and you can't trade two of those guys at the same time. It's got to be 1-for-1 type deals. So the Cavs are a little bit handcuffed in the way that, Dan Gilbert put out that message, which I thought was hilarious. Some people were all for it, but no. Yeah, it's just
anybody with common sense. I talked to Coach Mike Fresh offline about it. Anybody with common sense knew that was just a PR stunt.
Well, it's just BS is what it is, Jordan. Yeah. We lost in the second round last year. We didn't get nothing changed. We got the same. We got as far as we got with JB Bickerstaff last year. I mean, what's the difference, Jordan? In the Core 4 era, was this illustrious era where these guys get a nickname, the Core 4, because what have they accomplished, Jordan, to give them a nickname? If you want to call Evan Mobley your building block, then I'm all for that. But these four guys together have not accomplished a damn thing to deserve a nickname and deserve their spot to be just reserved. There's no room for improvement. That's kind of insane to me, Jordan. It really rubs me the wrong way that we have that.
There's definitely room for improvement. There's more room on the bench for improvement than anything, because that's where you can kind of mix and match and even a few things out. But I look at a guy like Adebayo over in Miami, maybe trying to do a little something with him and Jared Allen. Jared Allen's a little bit younger. Maybe that might fit Miami's mold. It's just an idea. Miami's going to have to blow it up, Doug. We know that.
Probably.
Kevin Love's not going to come back. Bam's probably not going to come back. They're going to have to it's going to be either around Tyler Hero or they're going to have to restart. And Bam's a veteran, has been there for the longest tenured.
Yeah, but they're not
player.
going to trade Bam for Allen straight up. We'd have to give them a first-round pick.
You'd have to give them a first-round pick, and you'll probably have to bring in the third team and do that. And the Cavs are historically known for that, kind of getting on the train of some backdoor deals. So maybe, and that's just a name. There's other ones across the league, and it's too early reaction right now. But that's where I would start. I would start shopping Jared Allen tomorrow to see tap what the rest of the league might give up for him.
Definitely. All right, Jordan.
I know.
Final thought: the season was a failure. It was a letdown. Kenny Atkinson let us down this year. The team let us down this year. I do appreciate the front office trying to go out and get DeAndre Hunter and trying to make some things happen. I do think they did what they could, but the result does not match what we were shown in the regular season. So let's keep it moving, Jordan. We've got the first battle of Ohio this week, the Reds versus the Guards. Jordan, how are we feeling about Reds versus Guardians? I mean, let's talk about something. Let's talk about the White Sox series before we get to the Guardians, because that just wrapped up today. Jordan, the Reds did not get swept. How are you feeling about not getting swept this week? What's up, dude? How about it?
I feel the same. I feel like this is the most inconsistent Reds team in
this team's worse.
Recent memory.
This team's worse than the Bell teams. This team's worse.
But Doug, we did the same thing. We laid goose eggs. We hit 1-run games, and then we go out and we outscore the opponent by 6 runs. It's welcome to the Reds season. We're 100% locked in, and I'm sure we'll lay a goose egg against the Guardians. And the next time we play them, we'll score 12 runs. Half the fan base will feel good about it. The other half with a brain will continue to say the same things that we are. So,
I mean, but talk to me about the White Sox, dude. Losing 2 of 3 to the White Sox. I mean,
I don't have answers, man.
We both put it out there. We both put it out there.
We did.
What does Nick Kroll see that he thinks this is just fine? I don't understand, Jordan. I don't understand how we can just sit idly by and continue to watch this happen. We're wasting good pitching. We're wasting.
Oh,
I know Rogers joking, but the White Sox are 4-2 since the Pope was elected. I love that. I love that. But Jordan, we're getting embarrassed.
He's a Cubs fan, so I don't know what that's about.
We're getting embarrassed by bad baseball teams. We're the bad baseball team, is what it really is, Jordan.
Yeah.
2 of 3 to the White Sox, who are abysmal. Talk to me. What,
Doug? I said on Thursday's episode we needed to go in and get the sweep. I said this was going to be the little cousin that you slapped around. This is going to be the preseason game that you call the single A team, and you said, hey, you want to come play with the big boys, and we start to feel good about ourselves. I thought we would find ourselves in this series, and Doug, wow. Another, just another disappointment. But, given the team's credit, most of the pitching was not bad. And like you said, we are wasting, some quality pitching
outings.
We're wasting good outings. We're going into, the 10th inning here. We're blowing games. We're not able to finish. Bats are going cold. I read a statistic, and prove me if I'm wrong. I think we're 1-26 with runners in scoring position in the last 2 series. That's horrible baseball. That's pee-wee baseball. That's T-ball. I don't even know how to describe it. My girls' softball team can score some runs better. I mean, what are the Reds doing here? These are professionals, all pros. And individually, Doug, they've never had this bad of a season, anybody on the team at any level. So I don't know if it's a Francona thing, if it's a somewhat a health thing. a middle block.
We're just trying. I mean, but we're just trying to make excuses for bad baseball. That's the problem.
It's horrible baseball.
Where there's no fundamentals for this team, Jordan. We don't field the ball well. We don't hit the ball well. We don't bunt the ball well. We don't move runners over. We don't do any of the basics well at all, Jordan. And it shows up all the time. Jordan, do you know what happens when you make it to the 10th inning? You get a runner on second base. They give you a runner on second base. The Reds have not scored. We've had 5 or 6 games go into extra innings. We have not scored one time in extra innings for the runner from second base. That's it right there. Terry Francona, I thought it was going to be different, Jordan. I really did. I bought in. I was drinking the Kool-Aid.
We both did.
I had 2 fistfuls of Terry Francona Kool-Aid, Jordan, and it's kind of turned into piss is what it's turned into.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just awful. The team strikes out just as much as they did last year. Ellie has gotten a little bit more aggressive the last couple games. You know, big home run last night and then the home run today. McLean's maybe hopefully turning the corner, but damn, man, this team, they're just bad baseball players right now. It sucks to watch these guys play, Jordan. I said it last night. I'd rather watch the game cast than actually watch them play because it's that bad right now.
No, I fully agree with you. I just bought FanDuel Sports, Doug. I'm ready to cancel my subscription.
It wasn't worth it.
I'm ready to cancel my subscription. I bought, like you said, you drank the Kool-Aid. You know, I drank the iced tea that they pissed in, but they labeled it Grandma's tea, and I drank it, and now I'm feeling the side effects. So
I just feel like
unbelievable.
Also, it sucks. It really sucks. You know, let's talk about the Guardians and the Reds because the Guardians are playing good baseball. They are a good baseball team.
Pretty good at striking out.
We're going up against the Guardians, who are second in the AL Central. They're 3.5 games back. They are 25-18 right now. They are a solid baseball team. They do have a -14 run differential, but take that with a grain of salt. The Reds have a +24 run differential, and it means jack shit. Jordan.
Yeah, because we score 20 runs in a game. So,
Jordan, let me ask you this. Do we take one game from the Guardians this weekend?
Given the current trend, I do think we take one game. I think we take night 1, and then we get blown out night 2.
How many runs do we score in this series?
Give me, what did we score? 7 last time. Give me 8 runs game 1 and 1 run in game 2. Give me 9 altogether.
Okay, no. So here's my question: Do we score for in the 3-game series that we have coming up? Do we score more than 9 runs?
No.
In 3 games.
Oh, in 3 games? Yeah, give me 12 runs. Give me 12 runs in 3 games.
So you're going over 9. I'm going under 9, Jordan. Under 9. And I'm betting you $10 that they go under 9 runs. Deal?
Deal, sir.
That's how bad this team is. That's my belief in this team. So you're going 12, I'm going 9. A little $10 side bet. Tomorrow night, Jordan, Brady Singer back on the hill against Tanner Beebe. Tanner Beebe, 3-3, 3.80 ERA. A solid pitcher. Brady Singer's ERA has definitely skyrocketed after last game. Still 4-2, 4.97 ERA. I think Brady Singer's, hopefully Trevino's catching for him tomorrow. His last 2 outings, Stevenson's caught for him, and it's been disastrous with Stevenson behind the plate. I don't know, the mental side of that, but we need Brady Singer here to pick us up tomorrow and give us a chance to win this. Game's at Great American Ballpark, so hopefully slight advantage there, but it hasn't really meant much to the Reds. They're 10-12 at home, so I don't think that's going to change anything. Jordan, it would be awesome to beat a good Cleveland Guardians team. It would be awesome to take 2 or 3 from this team, a team that me and you consider a playoff quality team, a team that could, has aspirations of, winning a round or getting a little bit further in the playoffs. It'd be nice to kind of, regroup and take 2 or 3 here from the Indian or the Guardians, but I don't believe that's going to happen. There's no consistency. There's no one game to the next game that you're going to see consistency, and that's a massive issue. There's got to be something, Jordan. Something's got to change here.
Do you think Terry's days are numbered?
No, I think they went all in with Terry, and I think they're gonna let him, at least they got to let him play out the year at minimum. Jordan, at minimum, they got to let him play out the year. He came back from retirement. I think there's some factors like that play into that aspect of it. So, Jordan, let's keep it moving. The second Battle of Ohio this weekend, FC Cincinnati takes on the Columbus Crew. Jordan, this one's a big game. This is a big game, man, for Ohio. Like, with how big the MLS has gotten in Ohio and how these two teams are supported. Jordan, if you look at the MLS standings right now, FC Cincinnati is first with 28 points. Columbus Crew is tied for second with 26 points. This is a very important matchup in terms of Ohio. And, Rogers just said it. Dinky, my guy. Hey, woo! Jordan, it's Dinky or die at this point. Did you see that goal he put on?
Yes.
The individual talent that dude has is wild. Wildly talented player. He's still going to lead the MLS in scoring, guys. I am booking it. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. But Jordan, the Columbus Crew are a very, very good club. What are your thoughts for this weekend?
Doug, I think this is going to be an all-out brawl. It's kind of setting up to be that Miami versus FC Cincinnati, that feeling that we had last year. I think you intensify that by 2 because this is an in-state rival. You definitely, it's got implications long-term, not only for this season, but down the road, in free agency and trades and, player personnel, stuff of that nature, where if you're going to make a decision to come to the Crew or FC Cincinnati, these games matter.
Yeah,
in that aspect. And like you said, both fan bases right now are to the brink. I don't know if anybody saw
fan bases.
Yeah. If you saw FC Cincinnati's last home crowd, absolutely electric. And, they continue with that. They're top 5 right now in ticket sales for the MLS over in FC Cincinnati. That's something for a young franchise that shouldn't be ignored. So Doug, give me a 3-2. I think this is going to be a loose game defensively. I think everybody's going to be kind of hyped up. Give me 3-2. FC Cincinnati takes it in an absolute nail biter, a thriller, however you want to call it. Just kind of the next chapter in the Battle of Ohio here when it comes to MLS.
Yeah, I like that, Jordan. I'm going 2-1 FC. I think Evander and Dinky get it done. I think they are able to put 1 goal each in the back of the net, and they're able to escape Columbus Crew. But dude, Columbus is a damn good team too. It's in Columbus, Jordan. So I would not be surprised at all if the Crew were able to win this one. And then that return match back in Cincinnati could be a big time. Jordan, not that or I know, but why has ESPN not tried to, or one of these streaming networks tried a little harder to get some of these games?
Well, we know that
does Apple have this still?
Apple holds a majority of the games, at least for FC Cincinnati this year. So, whenever Apple's in a game that might monopolize things, I know Peacock's covered a little bit of them, but I'd have to dig further research to see.
I guess my question is, Jordan, why is a game like this not being hyped up and commercialized more? Why is Apple TV not putting out a commercial?
I'm not sure, but Doug, I
did
agree.
That they should be trying to marquee.
Do you know where this game's going to be played? And my mind was kind of blown.
Columbus. It's in Columbus.
Here. Yeah, it's in Columbus. But I saw an advertisement for this being on MeTV, which is owned by Paramount and CBS.
See, what I've got it on right now is I've got it on. It's going to be actually on FS1, and it's going to be on the MLS Season Pass. So It will be on FS1 at least. But my thing is like, if you have rights for these kind of games, why are you not hyping up these kind of matchups? These, like, I know the average, sports fan probably is not going to, but you got to, if you don't, why would you not bill this as the top team in the East versus the second best team in the East? Why wouldn't you be billing this up as a big time matchup? Especially, why would you not use the moniker Battle for Ohio type thing? I feel like this is the kind of game where you could really sell.
I feel like if this game kind of belongs on the CW, I think that would be kind of a huge win for both teams. They're slowly.
What is this, NXT? What the fuck? What is this, the minor leagues, Jordan?
Wow, I didn't.
Minor
I
league?
didn't think. I didn't think I'd get that reaction from you. But
What is this? The minors?
no, it's
This one's a bigger
FS
program than CW, isn't it?
FS1.
I don't
have
know.
to see.
I don't know.
FS1 lost a lot of rights for some apparent reason.
That's
So
true. Well, I'm just saying,
see where it goes.
nationally, I feel like this game should be
nationally
marketed differently and marketed as a big game. You know, you could put the graphic on of Ohio split, FC on the bottom, Crew on the top. I just feel like there should be more done here.
I feel like if there's a producer out there that comes along our program, give us a call. We'd love to steer. We'd really love. I'd love to work with the MLS and steer this into a bigger genre of a fan base. And there's no better way of doing it than working with the actual fans that know what the fans want. But we'll see, Doug. We'll see if our email gets a little beep here.
All right, let's keep it moving, Jordan. Just announced, Jordan, week 1, the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Battle for Ohio, part 3. I mean, how do you feel week 1, dude? I'm pretty pumped, man. I know our quarterback situation's not hammered down. I know we've got some issues on our team. I know, you guys have aspirations, but hey, man, week 1 rivalry game. I feel I'm pretty energized about this.
Doug, you guys get to win by 3. Congratulations on starting 1-0 in the upcoming season. Cincinnati historically comes out really weak. Week 1 under the Zach Taylor era. And Doug, this is not only a AFC matchup, it is a AFC North matchup. We have too many question marks ourselves across the team defensively. Doug, if I'm an average Cincinnati fan, I'm pissing down my leg. Myles Garrett is probably counting his blessings that we get to play him week 1 healthy, and he's going to face a rookie guard at some point in the line. So definitely scary there. And your offense, regardless of who you pick, now gets to go all out, especially with a revamped running game, Doug, against a defensive line that doesn't know what the hell they're doing yet. So
Judkins, this is touchdown. Anytime touchdown score, call it.
I'm betting it. I'm betting it 100%. But Doug, I think the advantage goes to the Browns right now. If the game were to be played tomorrow, I'd be pissing down my leg because there are just too many question marks for Cincinnati moving forward. And what a statement. You guys get to come out against, your in-state rival, your AFC North rival. And regardless of who's playing at quarterback, everybody kind of has something to prove right now on this Browns team. So, Doug, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie.
I think there is a good chance you guys come out and you absolutely throttle us, to be honest. But I know you guys start slow, and that's a nervous thing. But I'm excited. When you look at the schedule, Jordan, I know we don't have them pulled up here, but the Browns have no primetime games, Jordan. I'm fine with that. I don't want to play on Thursday a bunch. I don't want to do all this extra stuff. I'm excited to play Sundays, 1:00, and then 4:30 whenever we're on the West Coast. I'm pretty solid with that. How did you feel about the Bengals schedule?
I'm happy we got the Thanksgiving game. We got the primetime Thanksgiving game locally. Finally get to sit down and make sure I catch it. It is a Thursday game. That means it's a short work week. If I haven't got to see if we had the bye going into that, I hope they do. But schedule makers, it's a hit or miss. So 4 primetime games. One of them could be potentially flexed out depending on the way it is on the Sunday night game towards the end of the year. But 3 guaranteed primetime slots. It's good to see. It's an offense that when they get it going, they're regardless of how bad the Cincinnati defense is, Doug, it's always entertaining to watch. We get to watch a little bit of T. Higgins. We get to watch, Jamar Chase kind of light it up. When Joe Burrow gets to sling the rock, it's always kind of a good time for both the viewers locally and abroad. So I'm happy that we got 4 primetime games. That was kind of the opposite story last year. So, winning those last 4 games of the season probably took a factor, beating Denver, beating those guys going into the final stretch of the year. So to feel like they were kind of rewarded, but it's all about the front office and how we'll produce, Doug. So the front office can either shine knowing that we're going to be in prime time at minimum 3 times this year, or we can get their shit together.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Long way to go till the NFL season, obviously, but it was fun having that announcement and getting to see the schedule. Jordan, let's keep it moving. Any news or notes this week that you can think of?
Not off the top of my head. But besides the Ohio State girls basketball coach doing some great things in the area. But
Yeah, I mean, DUIs happen, Jordan. They happen.
yeah, I mean that's what Huggins had like 3 of them in Cincinnati and Louisville. So,
yeah.
they happen. But no, nothing I can immediately think of that we haven't tweeted out already. We know about the primetime games. We know about the Trey Hendrickson ordeal. He actually did a solid 3-minute interview, just laying it 100% out. We know now he will not play under his contract conditions, and he's willing to take everything that comes with it penalty-wise. It's pay him or trade him, so that's 100% locked in. It came from the man's mouth himself, not a camp, not an agent. It came from him. Yep. So we'll see how that plays out when OTA, second part of OTAs and veteran leadership kind of gets called into the field. And no news on our first round pick yet if they got that contract picked out, but we'll tweet that out. We'll get that out there. When we learn, you'll learn. Pretty much wraps it up for Cincinnati. Yeah. No Ohio State football recruiting news. There's a couple guys that are on the ball that we're kind of watching. I know that Georgia had a linebacker that decommitted. That was like top 5.
USC had a linebacker.
USC. I apologize,
and
folks.
He reopened his recruitment.
I know Ohio State was on a short list.
In the mix of his Final Four. My grandma brought up the Pete Rose tribute.
Yes.
Yeah, it was excellent. It was really well done. The gray throwback jerseys were a nice touch. I thought that was a really nice event.
It just got overshadowed.
I just, and then the Reds come out and they absolutely lay an egg on Pete Rose Day with the entire, stadium filled up. That was a letdown, but the actual tribute and everything for him was very nice. So I do think that was awesome.
And getting his ban lifted. Now he is now eligible for the Hall of Fame. And Doug, we called that last year, even before he passed away, that it was going to take him ultimately not being here in person for that to happen. And, regardless of his murky history off the field, his work on the field needs to be recognized. He's the hit king. Yeah. Nobody did it better. Nobody, his sliding into home in an all-star game, taking a catcher's face off. You won't see that in this day and age. And so, Charlie hustle all the way. I'd love to see it. Love to see him inducted, regardless of how we feel about, his off-field antics. Because at the end of the day, the Hall is about what you've done on the field, and his statistics are going to last forever, Doug. And it's
for sure. That's
it's been a stamp for a really long time.
Nope. Well said, Jordan. Yeah, guys, I would like to see, Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame, regardless of the extracurriculars. But Jordan, 1,272 live viewers tonight. Another excellent show. We covered a lot tonight. Cavs recap, Battle for Ohio. A lot of battles for Ohio. Last but not least, if you would like to be a part of this show, if you'd like to come on the show as a guest, you can always reach out to us through our email. We have some good guests lined up here. If you'd like to sponsor Ohio Sports Talk, we would love to talk with you. I know there's a lot of things going around. Hey, give us an opportunity. We will do our best. We will work as hard as we possibly can to make your product, your business, whatever you bring to the table, as big and as relevant as possible. We would love the opportunity to work with anybody and everybody. So thank you to everybody who watches the show. Jordan, thank you for all your hard work. And guys, we will see you guys live Monday night, 9:00. We'll be recapping the entire weekend. We'll be talking Battle for Ohio Reds, Battle for Ohio Crew versus FC Cincinnati, and so much more. This has been Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson, and see you guys next time.